Isn't it cruel that every time that we drink, we get that dopamine release and we feel so good, and then a couple hours later we don't feel good anymore? What happened? I'm still drinking alcohol. How come I don't feel good anymore? All right, welcome back to Getting Sober, Again. My name is Jay, and today we're gonna talk about nobody wants to admit that they have a drinking problem. But first, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, and make sure that when you subscribe, if you haven't yet, turn on all the notifications so that you'll get a notification when I upload new episodes, which is sometime usually between the hours of 4 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern, depending on what time I get done with the videos. So I try to provide episodes every Monday through Friday, but also too, on busy weeks, I might only put them out between Tuesday and Thursday. But we'll see. I'm very super motivated because of viewers like you and commenters like you to provide daily episodes to help you with your journey on sobriety. So with that, make sure that you like this video at some point, and let's get started. The topic is nobody wants to admit that they have a drinking problem, right? So a lot of us, if you've been to AA, comment below. If you've done a 12-step program or any other programs, or if you've been to a detox center or a rehab center or whatever it is, maybe you don't want to comment below, but if you want to, it would definitely be helpful for people to share their journey, because again, like I said, nobody wants to admit that they have or have had a drinking problem. A lot of people want to talk about how they've gotten sober, but nobody wants to talk about the fact that they have a problem, when they have a problem, or even identify with potentially having a problem. Because a lot of us want to pretend that we're adults and that we can handle our business, right? We want to believe that we can have our cake and eat it too, right? We want to believe that, well, it's not a problem because I still have a good paying job, and I'm still a productive member of my community. I'm a parent, I'm a good partner, and I have friends and family. So what's the problem? But at the end of the day, we're still wasting time, we're still wasting money, and at the end of the day, it's also potentially making us a little bit ambitionless. If you agree with that, comment below. And I'm not saying that everybody is ambitionless. I'm not saying that people aren't productive. There certainly are functional alcoholics. There are definitely, I have a lot of friends that are super high functioning on weed, on marijuana. I have a lot of friends that are very high functioning on alcohol, on cocaine, on amphetamines of whatever variety. I have a lot of friends that don't necessarily want to put out there that they're taking pain pills, and they're still high functioning adults. But when we find ourselves watching channels like Getting Sober Again, but I'm definitely happy that you are here and that you relate to these videos. In a previous episode, I talked about when I started this journey, which was on November 28th, 2018. I started this journey right after Thanksgiving, and I decided to go cold turkey on the day that we would have cold turkey, right after Thanksgiving. And I decided that, I had a friend coming into town, and I knew that he was going to be coming there, and I was excited to tell him because he would always push me to do better. He would push me to go to the gym. He would push me to maybe take a week off of alcohol, or a month off alcohol, or do a cleanse or a detox or whatever it was. And I was excited to see him. And when I talked to him, I decided to tell him that I was getting sober. And coincidentally, the day that he was supposed to be there, which we ended up going out for dinner, I ended up telling him that day I had already looked on the AA website to find out where there was a community center nearby that I could go to my first meeting. And of course, I was hesitant to do it. I was, when I think about AA, I think it's just, I imagine that scene in Fight Club when they're all just sitting in like a fluorescent lit, musty basement, a musty church basement. And I thought maybe that's not the scene for me, and I was projecting, I was just assuming that that's what it was going to be like. I didn't know, and I still don't know to this day because I haven't gone to one, but I decided that I would do it my own way. And I know that a lot of you resonate with that you want to find a way to do it yourself, to do it your own way, to create your own path and carve your own path. And I thought that with this channel, for me, what I wanted to do is, instead of talking to 8 to 15 people in a basement and have to say my name's Jay, I'm an alcoholic, and have to do that every week, and have to say, hi, my name's Jay, I'm an alcoholic. Hi, my name's Jay, I'm an alcoholic. I don't want to have to do that. I don't like having to say that I'm an alcoholic, first of all. And I know that there are a lot of people out there that agree with that. You don't have to victimize yourself by putting a label on it. The underlying tone already, the agreement is that I drink too much already. I don't have to also put a label on myself and call myself an alcoholic. If that works for you, that's awesome. Whatever works for you on your journey, because it is your journey. Some of you have high paying jobs and high paying and amazing positions in your company. Maybe you run your own company and nobody can tell you what to do. And you have employees below you and people whose livelihoods depend on you and your actions. So again, you maybe default on the thinking of like, well, I'm providing a service to the community. I have a successful business. So like, what's the problem if I want to drink whiskey every night? If I want to drink bourbon or scotch every night? What's the problem if I drink a bottle of vodka every night because I still show up to work every day and I do my job and I'm still a good parent, whatever. And it's like, whoa, calm down. All right. And nobody's here to judge you, especially in this community. This is a judgment-free zone. I know that I just totally stole that motto from Planet Fitness, but I go to Planet Fitness every day and while I'm working out, I have to like look up at the thing, the big poster that says judgment-free zone. But that's what this is. This is a judgment-free zone. And I definitely appreciate all the times that you all comment, not only on the video to me, but that you take the time to comment on other people's comment, that you see that people are struggling, that you see that maybe I wasn't able to leave a super long or super thoughtful comment back to somebody, and that you step in and provide some life experience that might be relevant and some encouragement to people along their journey. So when I talked to my friend about wanting to go to AA, he said, why do you want to do that? That wasn't exactly the encouragement that I was looking for, but he knew me, like he's like my buddy and I, like there's nothing that I feel like I can't accomplish when he and I are teamed up together. He's one of those friends to me. Like we definitely accent each other's energy and help to propel each other up into the stratosphere of accomplishment, so to speak. And that all started, we actually started working at a restaurant together. My first serving job, he was one of my trainers in the service industry, and I grew to respect him. And then as I started to show what I could do in that environment, he started to see what potential I had. And from that day, which was, I think, maybe 15 years ago, we've been really good friends, even though we live thousands of miles away from each other, right? But we still check in with each other and we still try to keep each other honest and try to keep each other on the right path, so to speak. But so I told him that I was gonna go to AA, and he was just like, well, why are you gonna do that? Just get sober, just be sober. You're strong enough to do it. I believe that you can do it. I believe that there's nothing that you can't accomplish when you put your mind to it. And I wanna be able to provide that encouragement for you. And I know that there are some of you that are commenting every day, and I definitely encourage that. There are some people that are commenting every day and they're saying that they're on day 21, that they're on day 22, that they're on day 23. Like, I don't care how much you comment. I encourage you commenting every day. And if it's, again, like I said in yesterday's video, if that's what you need to do to help you to get sober and to stay sober, if that's your way of accountability and transparency, I encourage you to do that, because for some people, this is their AA, using this channel and this community in the comment section below to voice how you're feeling and how you're struggling with temptation, and that you don't know what to do, and that you just need somebody to listen. You might need a shoulder to cry on. You just don't know what to do or who to turn to, and you're struggling with your third day of sobriety. You don't know if you're going to make it to day 4, or if you're on day 7 and you don't know if you can make it to day 10 or 21 or whatever the case may be. And I know a lot of people are still struggling just to get to the 30-day mark. So I encourage everybody always to reference back to the 20 amazing benefits of quitting alcohol for 30 days. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you watch the newest big episode, which was the 25 benefits of quitting alcohol for 90 days. And I think that those are very reasonable goals. And I've laid out how it's changed my life. And a lot of people have definitely commented like on the 30 days of sobriety. I think there's like 1,000 likes. There's like something like 400 comments. So even if you just want to passively participate by just reading the comments, maybe you don't even want to comment. Maybe you don't want to put yourself out there. Maybe your username on YouTube is actually your whole name, which it's debatable on whether or not you should do that, because there are also a lot of trolls in the YouTube space in the comments below. But I understand if you want to go back and reference those videos. And I always tell people, make sure that you bookmark those videos so you can easily find them whenever you're finding yourself in a situation of temptation, whenever you're feeling like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know, like, I keep forgetting what the benefits are, because some of the things that we don't do when I talk about the 3 Ps, the preparation, the practicing, the sobriety, and the patience with yourself along your journey, one of the things that we don't do is properly prepare ourselves to get sober by being transparent with our friends and family, and having somebody that you could talk to and say, whoever your best friend might be, even if they're out out of town or if they're out of state, they're across the country or on the other side of the planet, just letting them know like, hey, could you do me a big favor? If it's not too much to ask, like I really want to, maybe you don't even want to say like, because again, nobody wants to admit they have a problem. Maybe you don't want to say like, hey, I have a drinking problem. Maybe you just want to say like, hey, I'm doing a week-long cleanse. Could you just be a friend? And maybe is it okay that over the next week that maybe I can give you a call or shoot you some texts or, you know, whatever it is, or if you wouldn't mind just checking in on me a couple of times a day and maybe just providing some encouragement, it'd be really helpful. This is something I've never done before. And whenever we've never done something, it tends to give us a lot of what? Anxiety, right? And whenever we have that anxiety, our heart's beating a little bit faster, our chemicals a little bit off, and we're just a few days away from having not been sober, and the alcohol is still filtering through our body, through our liver, through our kidneys, through our brain. Our chemicals are starting to reset. We're starting to detox a little bit, and our bodies don't know how to handle it because every time that we've felt any symptom of withdrawal, we've gone back to self-medicating, right? So it's really important. I always talk about it. I'm always going to talk about it. I know that I repeat myself in these episodes because number one, I would never want to assume that everybody's watching every single episode, but two, I've had the good grace of God. The last 2 days, I've got 150 new subscribers in the last 2 days. I got 75 new subscribers in the last 2 days. That like makes me feel really good. It makes me feel awesome. It makes me feel amazing that I can do this so I could be of service to you and to this community. And I can listen and you know, if you've left a comment, unless you've deleted the comment or if it was a nasty comment, which never really happened, but sometimes YouTube flags comments and I'll see that you commented, but they don't sit for some reason. And even though I see it, because I obsessively check my phone, sometimes I'll go to read your comment and it's not there for whatever reason. And sometimes they get deleted or sometimes you delete them or you re-edit them or whatever. But I've done my darndest, comment below if you agree, to comment back. And at least if nothing else, I'm gonna thumb up your comment and I'm gonna leave you one of these also. I'm gonna heart your comment. But I have a very high success rate of commenting back to you, and that's something that I love doing. And that's something that I feel a welcome obligation to, and my debt to the universe, to helping me to be sober and to stay sober. And I wanna pass along that good energy and that positive inspiration to you along your journey so that you can have and meet your goals of being sober, or just being a better friend or a better partner, or to save money, or to start that business so that you can have a job that you appreciate, so that maybe that you can be a boss and you could be the lead by example person that you've never had at a job or in your education or even in your household, maybe with your own parents. If your goal is to be a better parent, to stop all the generational trauma, whatever your goals are, maybe comment below. What are your goals with sobriety? You know, why is it that you want to be sober? We know that it's causing us physical distress. We know that it's not healthy for us to drink. We know that it's causing us to spend a lot of money. We know that we're becoming highly irritable every time that alcohol lets us down, which is going to be a future episode. Every time that we get that little pep in our step, and it's cruel. Isn't it cruel that every time that we drink and we get that dopamine release and we feel so good, and then a couple hours later, we don't feel good anymore. What happened? I'm still drinking alcohol. How come I don't feel good anymore? And it lets us down. And then we're sitting there and then we start to get irritable and we start to get angry and we start to get depressed. And it's the opposite of what we intended to drink for in the first place. So then we start to realize how foolish and how stupid we might have been for drinking in the first place, because we knew that it was going to do that to us. We knew that alcohol was going to let us down. We knew that alcohol was going to leave us. It was just going to say, thanks for the money, goodbye. Enjoy that hangover, by the way. So statistically speaking, I'm going to read off my phone because I can't memorize everything. The National Survey of Drug Use and Health said that 85.6% of all people above the age of 18 have reported that they've drank alcohol at some point in their life. 69.5% have reported that they've had a drink in the last year. 54.9% of men and 51% of women have reported that they've had a drink in the last month. And a staggering average of 25.8% of people report binge drinking over the last month. Statistically speaking, 1 in 8 people have a drinking problem. So it's not that big of a secret. It would seem that everybody's drinking, from your favorite celebrity to your favorite athletes and sports players. I remember recently with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl and Tom Brady got trashed and was throwing the Lombardi trophy off of his boat. We know what happens when we're around alcohol. Sometimes we feel like we're our best selves. Sometimes we feel like we're really good dancers, or we're really good at karaoke, or improves our pool game, or whatever it is. Maybe we think that it makes us a more likable person, or when we're not drinking, we don't feel like talking. If you agree with that, comment below. I felt like I'm a pretty reserved person. I'm kind of an introvert, and it might seem like I'm extroverted here on this channel, but like I'm performing to be on this channel. This is performer version me, but also too, I'm trying to make performer version me into the real version of me. And I've had a lot of success with that since I've given up alcohol. But I was always under the impression that like I didn't know how to socialize, because like does it give you anxiety to be around a bunch of people in a public atmosphere? Yeah. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it give you a lot of anxiety if like you're still like a young single person to go to a nightclub around a bunch of like, who knows if people are single or not? You want to approach somebody if you don't know if they're single, and so your heart's beating through your chest and you have all this anxiety, and it's a bunch of shit music that you don't even like and it's dark and it's flashy and everybody's dressed the way that they're dressed, and you don't know what kind of substance anybody has in them around you, and you definitely don't know what kind of substance anybody's on around you. Those are environments that would give you anxiety. But now, knowing how you feel in those situations, you might want to ask yourself like, well, is that something that I need to do? Is that the environment that I want to be at? And when I look back at all the things that I used to do when I was drinking, I definitely got myself into a lot of sticky situations. I definitely got myself into a lot of social situations where I used alcohol as a crutch. And also, like I'm talking about to a friend of mine, I'm actually talking about going to a music festival, thinking about going to Bonnaroo this year. And I'm gonna try doing it sober, because I definitely have no intention of not being sober, because I would feel like it would cheapen this channel and it would cheapen my journey, and it would draw away from the strength that you find in this channel, or maybe in me or this community, if I were to let you down. And I definitely don't want to do that. So my sails are full of wind, so to speak, and I definitely want to continue being that, not just for you, but for myself, for that little kid in me that thought that maybe he would be president someday, or thought that he would be a football player for the Minnesota Vikings. I used to watch football a long time ago, and that was something I genuinely thought maybe I would play for the Minnesota Vikings. But who knows? Like whatever our goals are, whatever our dreams are, like I don't want to let that little person down. That little person is still inside of me. That little person that still wants to play and have a good time is still within you. Don't you like playing? Don't you like having a good time? Don't you like using up all your energy and getting sweaty and drinking out of that garden hose? Garden hose water just hits different. I'm not gonna lie. But whatever it is, we don't want to admit that we have a problem, because it seems like it's this big taboo subject. But like I said, 1 out of every 8 people have a drinking problem in this country. But your future doesn't have to be that anymore. And your future could be one full of experience, where you get to help support the community in the comment section down below with your relevant experience of being a week sober, a month sober, 90 days sober, a year sober, or 10 years sober. And I look forward to every single one of your comments. And I promise you, until this channel is so far unmanageable that I can't comment back to you, I am going to comment back to your comments. So please make sure that you comment below, and good luck on your journey. And I will see you in the next video.